Well, good morning, guys. I figured today would probably, or this vlog anyway, would probably be a good opportunity to kind of put out who I am and how I've kind of gotten into ball pythons and dragons and all that stuff. Kind of my history a little bit, so you guys kind of get to know me and know where I'm coming from and that kind of thing. So know the person behind the name or whatnot. I guess I mean the best place to start is my involvement and how I got involved with I guess at now reptiles. When I was 12, I started with fish, aquarium fish. I had my first community fish tank, and it kind of grew from there. After that point, I had always had fish, and up until the point where I got married and finished half my basement and was running right about 50 tanks, 50 aquariums. And I would have from regular freshwater to African cichlids to a 200-gallon reef tank system that I had built and put in. So, that's where it all started for me. And I was, bringing in fish from Africa, wild caught groups, and I was breeding them and selling them to hobbyists and into pet stores and things like that in the Connecticut area. And it was a lot of fun, but I'd always had interest in reptiles, but the wife didn't like snakes. I mean, for me, it was mostly snakes. She didn't like snakes at all, and so trying to get something in the house was always a challenge. But I went to her one day and I told her, I go, well, I had been pushing for a snake and there was no way in hell it was going to happen. But knowing she's an arachnophobiac, that she absolutely hates spiders, I told her that I was looking at a tarantula, and small aquariums, just the whole gambit. Really sold it out on the tarantula, and and she said, "There's no way in hell you'll have to move out if that happens. You want to get a snake, you can get a snake, but you're not getting a tarantula." And that was kind of the end of the snake and reptile thing. After that point, we got a corn snake. Had a corn snake. His name was Simon. So it was an Okatee corn. So really, that black and white checkered belly, bright orange, beautiful snake. And then we had a Colombian red-tailed boa that was given to us. Had her for a while. Ended up moving to Virginia, and on our move back, I don't know why I ever moved back, but that's another story, right? We went ahead and we donated her to the school that my son was in, and the science teacher there kept her in the school as part of the education project and stuff for the kids. So it ended up being good. She was about a 7-foot girl, very chill snake. She would sit and just relax with you. She'd sit on your lap. She wouldn't go anywhere. So that was a good introductory snake for my wife, learning to kind of hold them. And she's still not a huge fan, but she's come a long way. As you can see with the previous video where she was handling all the new pickups we got from Tinley. And now, I mean, this is a part-time thing, and we're gonna eventually talk about the racks here. We tried to go this way. We tried to go cheap and build it ourselves. I've always, in the aquarium trade, I was DIY. I built everything myself, and I hate to spend throw out money when I can do things myself. So we tried to go cheap but effective. Turned out the most horrendous, heinous thing to look at, but actually functions really well. And then we moved over to these guys, and we built these two out of melamine, and quickly learned why melamine sucks. I don't give two flips about weight, because honestly I don't move that a lot. It doesn't matter for me. I kind of put it there and it stays there. So the weight isn't a massive deal. But what happens, once you cut the melamine, you get the plastic on the top and bottom. All that fiberboard, pressed wood in between is exposed to moisture. So even the regular moisture in the air causes it to expand. And then what's ends up happening is half the bins are a pain in the butt to open and close, So you have issues there. But what I did learn is that if you seal it with paint, that it won't expand, and then it stays as close to true. There may be some like sagging stuff, but you can brace it with boards like you see that one. So we did learn how to make it effective, although I haven't built another one since we built the third one and painted it. I'm just done with them. The end of this year, we're going to be buying our first ARS rack, probably a 50-40, and kind of go from there. And then we'll eventually buy more and get rid of these guys, and definitely get rid of that thing. Although it works better than these. All those bins slide open and close, and I'll go through them a little bit more. But anyway, currently, aside from doing this part-time right now, I'm an operating room nurse by trade. So during the day, I work at a surgery center. So during the day, I'm on the floor at 6:30, typically out anywhere between 3 and 5, and I'm that nurse in the operating room when you go in to have surgery done. It's a sports medicine practice, so a lot of hand surgeries, shoulders, knees, that kind of stuff. They're starting to do total knees, total hips, total shoulders, all on an ambulatory basis. So you walk in and you walk out, which is phenomenal that science and medicine has come so far to where you can have such a total joint replacement and you leave and go home that same day safely. So again, I'm not going to make this really long and drawn out, but that's a little bit of my history and where I've come from, at least what I do now. I mean, growing up, I've just been always looking for the right fit for the job. I mean, I bounced around a lot, did a bunch of different things, from growing up in an electrical contracting business to working retail at Home Depot and a bunch of different stuff. But I mean, that's just who I am. My wife, Lisa, aka Jennifer Aniston, is off running errands and doing some stuff, but she is also a nurse. She was a floor nurse for a while, and has recently taken a position with Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield, in a role that will help assess patients upon discharge from the hospital to make sure that those patients are being discharged appropriately, either to home or to other facilities for extended care and that kind of thing. It's a new role that the insurance company has put out there, and again, it's to make sure that the customers or the insurance holders are getting the appropriate care at the appropriate level and not just getting kicked out of the hospital too fast too soon, and make sure they're going the right way. There's a lot of dynamics that go on when you're being discharged from a facility, and it's just another layer to make sure the appropriate care and placement is being done. So that's a little bit about us and where we come from, and where we're going. I mean, where we're going is ball pythons. We also have dragons in the next room. We do ackies. I got a Mexican alligator lizard that's pretty cool, so we're just kind of getting our feet wet with them. And we have a couple boas that are pretty neat. And I have one male viper boa, which is really cool. So I know Mike Garcia from Always Evolving Pythons, and most of you guys are now that are started to pop over and follow me, all follow him. And he's got a few of these things that he's waiting to shed out too. Mine was I got from Ben Siegel. That was a wild caught that was imported through Indonesia, and unlike Mr. Garcia's, my dude is super chill. Like I bought a snake hook and everything all prepared to deal with him so that I could get him out. He has never struck at me. I mean, he's been handled multiple times. He's been here for 3 months. He's been handled multiple times. He gets fed, he eats. A lot smaller, you know, maybe total length nose to tail. He's about 12 inches long, where the girls get, you know, probably closer to like 2 feet and much girthier. But he's fantastic. Like, I'm like, this is just not normal Viper boa mentality. But I'll take it for now, because I know one of those girls are going to show up, and she's going to be crazy. But I keep looking, because he's in that's his quarantine bin over there. He's still, let me see, on the bottom in the corner, right over there. So he's still in the quarantine. The rest of these guys are in quarantine. Looks like I got some poop to clean up. So we got the 2 triple hets, not triple hets, sorry, the het tri-stripes from Tinley, if you've seen those before, from that last video. Those are over there. This is a mahogany albino. We have, this guy is pretty cool. I'll show you this guy. We got these guys. This guy from, I call him Art Kelly because I can't pronounce his last name. This dude right here came through a buddy of mine, Damon Hellstrom. I don't know if you know Damon, if you've seen him on Facebook or whatever, but this little guy is pretty wicked. This is a pastel SK Axanthic Spider Kelly. Now this Kelly gene come from this guy Arthur. I call him Arthur Kelly. His wife's name is Kelly, and he has a gene. It looks similar to Enchi, where it cleans up like that. Not quite the same, but it really adds some definition, some spacing, and it cleans up quite a bit. He's getting ready to go into shed right now, so he's not nearly as white as he usually is. But he looks pretty good. So this was a recent pickup. He was in the neighborhood of 75 grams. Hold on, let me grab. These are, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. This is my feed cards I do. I just write their name, who they came from, the date they got here, and their weight, and then all their feeds. So I'll circle sheds and write down their feed dates. So he was 86 grams when he got here. I haven't really weighed him since. I don't mess around and weigh stuff a whole lot. I don't get too crazy with it. But we'll definitely, you know, in my plans, I guess for this channel anyway, going forward, I'm going to try to do twice a week. I was talking to Mike, or Miguel, I call him Miguel, Garcia, about, you know, he was talking about frequency, and that frequency should be, you know, a couple times a week would be good. So my thought is, you know, if I do once a week, more what's going on, and you know, details on maybe this rack or on the one behind me, or you know what we're doing. And then another one will probably be snake availability. So something that I have available that I'm going to be selling. I'll do a video on that. Kind of give a quick explanation of the genetics, what the pairing was, you know, all the details of that animal, that kind of thing, and post that up there, at least in the beginning. My concern with this whole thing going forward is just going to be content. Obviously, I don't have a problem talking. I've been talking to you guys for about 14 minutes, so I'm going to have to wrap this up pretty soon. But yeah, it's just going to be having you know, content. I mean, I can go through a certain amount of things for a little bit, and then probably bring some of the dragons into the mix as well, and then go from there. We do breed our own rats as well, so maybe we'll... Matt does that at his place, so maybe we'll go on a journey and I'll vlog going over there and kind of show you that setup. It's a little rough because, again, we built everything ourselves. Yeah, and go from there. Well, comment down below and let me know what you think, what kind of stuff you want me to cover, what you want to see, and we'll do that. You know, subscribe, punch that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next video, man. Thanks for watching.